Self-directed learning strategies, metacognition, and scaffolding. Metacognition. What is it, and why do we need it? Metacognition is one's ability to perform higher-order thinking, which involves active control over the cognitive processes engaged in learning. It involves things such as planning how to approach a given learning task, monitoring comprehension, and evaluating progress toward the completion of a task. There have been strong correlations drawn in the research between poor metacognition and poor self-directed learning results. While the self-directed learning that occurs in grade school contexts will likely involve a teacher facilitator who will be able to assist students in recognizing these needs and determining new goals to meet the needs, true self-directed learning aims to empower students with the self-awareness and strategic knowledge to take corrective action on their own. Here's how you can help students with metacognition in self-directed learning. First, use organizers. The simplest methods are using organizers such as journals, tracking sheets, or blogs to document their process. These processes or process records can be looked back on at any point in time, typically at planned increments during the self-directed learning process by both the student and the instructor, and then used to help analyze where issues might lie and adjustments may need to be made. For educators who want to take things further, co-created or student-created rubrics can be used to help students conceptualize the various tiers of success that they are aiming for, as well as have a tool to use to guide their reflective thought. Second, offer opportunities to develop cognitive awareness. Hold workshops that teach students about the biology behind brain function. This has been shown to make measurable differences in motivation for metacognitive processes. Integrate metacognitive language and vocabulary into the day-to-day activities of the class. What is scaffolding? It's defined as tools, strategies, prompts, metacognitive feedback, or guides that help students to achieve higher levels of understanding beyond their current abilities. Scaffolding's core purpose is to provide guidance for students on an as-needed basis and fade as abilities increase. In self-directed learning, one of the main objectives of the educator is to gradually guide students to a place where they can continue their work autonomously. Scaffolding is an obvious and potent strategy. Here's how you scaffold in self-directed learning. 1A. Use domain general scaffolds. This involves broader processes such as goal setting, planning, monitoring, evaluating, and adapting. These can be scaffolded in any type of self-directed learning process, regardless of context or content. Educators are responsible for determining where the zone of proximal development is for their students in each of these categories for the scaffolding to be most effective. 1B. Use domain-specific scaffolds. Here's an example. Direct instruction of a specific motor skill that moves towards students eventually self-developing that same skill. Research shows that combining domain general and domain-specific strategies has the most effect for student learning. Another element to scaffolding, returning to Zimmerman and Katsanis, developmental phases. As previously covered, the 4 developmental phases that are necessary to prepare students for proper self-directed learning are at the heart of how scaffolding functions in self-directed learning. These phases can be considered to apply to the overarching big picture processes, as well as to individual elements within it. This developmental process reaches its endpoint where self-regulation begins, with the instructor able to step back into a facilitator role where they are available to provide assistance if requested by a competently self-monitoring student. To learn about some of the other strategies for implementing self-directed learning, click the relevant link below. Otherwise, hit the bottom right to move on to the next big idea.